This is NBN Network Media, news for all races, connecting you to the world.
His Excellency Udom Emmanuel, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and His Excellency Governor Fayemi of Ekiti State, and the Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Usman Al-Gali Baba, to welcome you all to this two-day conference and retreat with the theme, the new police vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security. The strategic leadership interaction among the senior officers of the Nigerian police force is commendable, especially with the unrelenting insecurity bedeviling our great nation, Nigeria. I believe this retreat represents an element of change required to reposition the topical issues of primary mandate and vision of Nigerian police force. The highlight of the new policing vision include, and I quote, deploying cutting-edge policing technology, integrating intelligence-led policing practice to our core policing function, with a view of strengthening police capacity to stabilize internal security order and restore public confidence in the force. This, I must say, is a laudable vision of the Inspector General of Police, and the National Assembly is ever willing to collaborate and synergize with you, as always, in achieving this vision. In addressing the national security challenges, vis-a-vis its peculiarities in our various regions, through the Act of Parliament, we have enacted laws and other legislative activities to enhance good governance and effective policing. They are the Nigerian Police Act 2020, the Police Trust Fund Act 2019, the Nigerian Police Academy Establishment ETC 2020, still awaiting concurrence from the House of Representatives. Amendment of the Police Service Commission Establishment Act 2021, still receiving legislative attention, and a host of other corroboration by the National Assembly. Legislative oversight to the Ministry of Police Affairs, Nigeria Police Force Headquarters, Nigeria Police Trust Fund, and the Nigeria Police Academy. This is in line with Section 88 and Section 89 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and the Senate Standing Orders 2015. On behalf of the 9th Senate, I would again like to reassure you all of your commitment to create a better Nigeria by enacting legislation that will bring about good governance to doorstep of our citizenry for exclusive policing. I wish you all a brainstorming session. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
The distinguished senator deserves another round of applause. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force, the next to speak to us is a well-known face in public and political circles. He is Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, holder of the national honors of Commander of the Order of the Niger. He is the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and arguably the most powerful, the most diversified, and the most inclusive interest group in Nigeria today. A former minister for Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, is an established scholar. He holds a doctorate degree in War Studies from King's College, University of London, and he is a fellow of the Center for Peace and Conflict Studies, University of Ibadan. An accomplished researcher, his research and development interests include such thematic themes like constitutionalism, democratization, military civil relations, security sector reforms, and policing reforms itself. Like the host governor, he can be appropriately be described as a professional and a technocrat in the garb of politics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, CON.
Thank you very much, Frank, for the very kind introduction. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alajimega Ridingadi. Your Excellency, my brother, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Udom Emmanuel. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Moses Epo, the most distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic and Chairman of Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Senator Jika, and the Honorable Member and Chairman of the Committee on Police Affairs and Belonging, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, and all the Deputy Inspectors Generals here present, members of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council, senior officers of the Nigerian Police, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I stand here before you with greetings from my brother governors from the 34 other states that are not here with us. Of course, my brother, the host governor, is already fully in situ. But when the Inspector General of Police invited me and called me repeatedly till Sunday to confirm my attendance here, he made it very clear the fact that we are probably the single most united front that use the services of the Nigerian police more than others, the governors at the subnational level. And that for that reason, I cannot but be here, and I reassured the Inspector General of Police that he really shouldn't worry. I will make myself available. But I'm not just making myself available as a governor in solidarity with the police. I think it would be most appropriate to say I'm a policeman. And you may wonder why I say that. My first job leaving university was with the Nigerian police. Many people may not know that. I served with the Nigerian police under a very distinguished gentleman known as M.B. Wali, Commissioner of Police in Sokoto State. When I, as a young youth corps member, was posted to the police command in Sokoto and directed to go and teach at the police training school, Fafaru, in Sokoto State. And I've maintained my contact with police ever since that time. Needless to say, that must have contributed a great deal to my training as a scholar in security studies as well. But as chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, you know what the Constitution in Article 14, subsection 2 says about security and welfare as the primary responsibility of those of us elected into office by the Constitution of Nigeria. To that extent, there is no greater task that Nigerians, ordinary citizens, judge us by than the extent to which we have been able to provide security and safety for the citizens who have elected us into office. And our primary partner in this task is the Nigerian police. So when my brother, the chairman of the committee in the House of Representatives, was talking about the need to fund police adequately, and also talking about the inadequacy of police funding from the federal government of Nigeria, I whispered in the ears of my brother, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, that don't you know why the federal government is not doing as much as it should be doing? And he laughed. He said, well, we can't talk about that here, and we are not going to talk about it here. We would only just support Honorable Minister of Police Affairs in the task of delivering security and safety to Nigerian citizens by augmenting whatever he is doing and whatever our principal, the president, is doing at the federal level in our various states. And we are doing as much as we can, as much as the resources in our various states permit us to do now. But I must say that ever since the current Inspector General of Police took over the reins of office, we have been particularly delighted at the way he has taken the partnership with states. I knock on his door from time to time, not just on behalf of the security situation in my state, but also on behalf of my colleagues. And at no time did I bring any issue to his attention that he did not address expeditiously in the interest of safety and security in our various states. And like what I am talking about, the vision of integrating cutting-edge technology into the work of policing, I also like his vision of citizens-led policing as very central to the very essence of what we have been preaching at the state level. And of course, we take to heart his interest and focus on interagency collaboration, because we see it firsthand in our various states, that if we do not bring together the various elements in the security sector and ensure that they work in synergy and collaboration, we hardly ever get the result that we all desire in the interest of our citizens. And by focusing on that and encouraging that happen, and avoiding needless inter-service, interagency rivalry, we want to reassure the Inspector General of Police that we will continue to stand with and by him in accomplishing the task that he has set for himself, particularly around ethical regeneration in policing and a human rights-driven police force using intelligence, guidance in the most effective manner that is available. Of course, I'm sure the Inspector General of Police knows our views as governors on what we have always consistently described as multi-level policing, without discounting the importance of federal policing, which is always going to be important to us. We have always believed that another way to increase the efficiency of policing is to also develop a multi-level policing, not just state policing as many people like to focus on, but multi-level policing right down to local government policing. I know that the Inspector General has been doing some work, even previous Inspector Generals have done some work on community policing, but that is still nearly not enough as to what we would really like to see. But on behalf of my brother governors, I want to reassure the Inspector General of Police that Nigerian governors at the subnational level stand ready at all times to work with you, to support you, and to ensure that the task that has been set for you by Mr. President and that you have envisioned in your own charter is one that we would work with you on in order to accomplish a safe and secure environment for the citizens of Nigeria. We're not there yet, but we know that we will get there with concerted effort on the parts of all our people. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Politician, technocrat and professional, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. It deserves a better round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be very briefly inviting to the podium a friend of the police, Oke Bakassi, to lighten up the mood and all.
I did not hear any round of applause. Is it because they didn't add my rank? All right. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a rare privilege to be here. And let me also use this national platform to say that I've also decided to run. Just that I don't know where to run to yet. Every day I hear people are running, I don't know what is happening. Yes, it's good to be here. My name is Oke Bakassi, as earlier introduced. But to introduce myself properly, I'm also a man of one wife. I belong to a group of people who, very exclusive group of people who their wife control. Because once you hear neighbors gossip about you that this man, the wife is controlling him, know that they are living in peace. I don't know if you're the one controlling your wife. I wish you good luck. I know that there are people who also belong to a different particular group who have grace. Because if I follow the scriptures, the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds favor. Now, you can imagine the favor he who finds 4 wives will have, which is probably why Solomon is one of the wisest men in the Bible. He had 700 of them. So if you multiply his favor by 700, you see why he was the richest, the wisest. But I'm not advocating for you to take more wives, especially if you're a Christian. Nigerian women are not wired like that, especially when they are Christians. They can be very nice, but they will change it for you if you provoke them. Yes, they are very powerful people. I always say that. They are so powerful that any man who is married knows that when your wife offers you chair in your own house, the case is not in your favor. Once you have honey, sit down, we have to discuss. Only you, they calculate what I do. Did I forget anything in my pocket when I came back from Uyo? What is actually the problem now? Did anybody call my phone when I went to have my shower? Meanwhile, she has not said what the problem is. Only you're guessing. That is how powerful they are. So I don't mess with them. I give them their due respect. Most times people say, okay, Bakassi, you've been doing stand-up comedy for 28 years. Are you ever serious? Yes, I'm serious sometimes, especially when I'm counting money. Or when I want to do transfer to someone, I'm very, very serious. I don't want the zeros to exceed the number of zeros I want to add. I'm an Igbo man. You can understand how we are with money. If you have to an Igbo trader's shop after business when he's counting money, he's a very serious man. No distraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You walk in, you say good morning. They say 25, my brother. There's no time to waste. We are serious like that. That is how we are. Recently, I've been talking to some of my police friends because I've been under pressure. Actually, some people are saying, "Okay, Bakassi, you're popular enough, you're old enough to run for political office." But when I explain to them that I don't have all the credentials required, they don't understand me. It's so painful to me that I have very good friends, high-ranking friends in the force, even in EFCC, but they have not deemed it fit, despite our friendship, to include me on the wanted people list on EFCC. Because I see that is a prerequisite for national fame. Because honestly, if any day they publish my name now, Confrecnce, wanted by EFCC for being in custody or misappropriating 10 billion, you will see the party in my village will now call me and say, okay, come, we want you to run for something. Because there's usually a belief that once EFCC puts you on their list, you will get where you hide the money. Just that nobody has seen it. You understand? So that 10 billion they will be accusing me of now, their mindset will be, this guy who journalists will be granting me interview, they want to know more about me. So please, if any representative of the EFCC is here, please, the next list, I beg, can I make it? I beg, just detain me even if it's for a few days. They think will catapult me. Even banks will give me facility. You just walk into a bank, you say, I'm okay, Bakassi, remember me on EFCC list, yes. I just need just 100 million. When I finish my case, there's money. And they will believe you. Anyways, I always say, if you've been following my materials, I say I love the Nigerian police. They are a very, very friendly police. If you've traveled around the world, you know what the problems they deal with in Nigeria is unique. There's problem everywhere. Overseas, they've solved most of their problems. So the police force is free enough to be checking people who are drunk. In Nigeria, problem plenty. We can't leave kidnappers, ritual killers, murderers, then we'll be checking people who are drunk on the way. That is the job in Nigeria we leave for people who work in the mortuary. Because if you drive drunk, you kill yourself, then they will attend to you. You should be able to borrow yourself sense as an adult to know what to do and what not to do. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've been told that my time is rationed because we are live. But I will say that I don't blame myself if I've not been too close to the police, just that I've not had too many problems. Because in your line of business, people, on our customers mainly, are people will get problem. So if you're my friend here and you're in the police, you say, okay, you've not been visiting, it's just because I don't have problem. I'm not praying for one. So if I've not been visiting your office, try and visit my own. Yes. Sometimes too, some of you notice that in Nigeria, there's another set of people who don't usually go to the police. Now people where their mama be winch. You see, one of the painful things about your mother not being a winch is that people take you for granted because they know you don't have backup. Because if your mama na winch or your papa na native doctor, people don't try you. They know that if they have problem with you, you will not report to the police, you will report to your grandfather. And that case is easier. All right. Having said that, I thank you, my very good friend Frank Mba, for always inviting me. Thank you very much. I'll save your time and we'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether because he said he doesn't have a lot of friends among the police. I think we can give him a better round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Confrecnce. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the course of living, existing here in the African continent, we have more or less reached a consensus that there is a serious challenge of leadership in very many cadres of society. I personally believe that leadership, like ambition, should be made of sterner stuff. And we should have people who are selfless, who are focused, people who know how to do it. Like John Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. In Akwa Ibom, the past 6 years and 9 months, we've been privileged to have a gentleman at the helm of affairs of this state who came to office prepared. A gentleman who knew where he was going, and who has changed the story of Akwa Ibom in very many ways. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, like a lot of you already know, this is one, if not the most peaceful state in this country.
Like you already know, this is a state that has attracted the second highest level of foreign direct investment in this country. Like you already know, this is the only state in this continent with its own airline, flying, thriving, and creating jobs. All of this is a function of a leadership that thinks, a leadership that knows where it's going. Let me therefore invite this five-star gentleman who is currently leading the people of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency, our host this afternoon, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, to kindly come forward and present his remarks on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him.
Police band, thank you. I think I know how to play drums too. Your Excellency, our President, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, aptly represented by Honorable Minister for Police Affairs, our Minister Mohammed Maigari Dinjiadin. Your Excellency, our guy at the top, the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, very able Chairman, the Chairman in whom we are all pleased. You know, if we were not happy, by now you would have heard like 2-3 factions of Nigerian Governors Forum. But I think we are very happy with him, so we are one. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, and other distinguished senators. Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, and other members of the National Assembly here present. Our brother, our friend, the 21st Inspector General of Police, representative of the National Security Advisors, all the DIGs here present, AIGs, the Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government, the Chief of Staff, the Head of the Civil Service, ESCO members, all police commissioners here present, service commanders, Deputy Speaker, Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, and all members of Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, other brothers, invited guests, let me cut the protocol at that level. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm much more delighted to see this conference holding today in no other place than the only state. Raf, you forgot that one. The only state on planet Earth. You know, we're also known for something. America will say, the country with the largest economy. My brother, we are the only state on planet Earth named after God. So at least we have that one. So let me, on behalf of the government and good people of Akwa Ibom State, welcome our President, his representative, to our dear state. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the Inspector General of Police, our brother, IGP Usman, our Kalibaba, and the entire hierarchy of the Nigeria Police for selecting Akwa Ibom, this beautiful, serene capital city of Uyo, as the venue of this retreat. I'm sure once you land at the airport, even the air you breathe is different. What you feel is completely different. The only thing we don't have is money. I want to say say here that you have come to us because of who we are. A lot of people do not understand in our flag. You see the orange in there. It shows we are hospitable, we are welcoming, we are a land of delicious and enticing cuisines and people, and above all, peaceful and inviting. Thus validating what most Nigerians and others who have visited our state have come to identify. I borrow those phrases from them. They keep telling us this is Nigeria's best kept secret so far. So this retreat is timely. Let me appreciate the contributions of the Chairman House Committee and also the contribution of the Chairman Senate Committee, and also join with what my brother remarks he made concerning the collaboration and how much the Nigeria police had helped every single governor. They are the closest when it comes to internal security. They are the closest when you have any issue to call. In fact, even when you are not around, they report any issue. The first thing you ask is, have you called the commissioner of police? So we are working that closely to that extent. The reason I said the retreat is timely is because we are living in an age where known approaches to fighting crimes have been tested, thus necessitating the evolution of new strategies. So I was very happy when the IGP was saying that they are trying to look at redefining what they've done over the time. Because as a person, as an organization, as a body, if you don't reappraise, redefine, and redirect your focus in line with other approaches in which the criminals have also adopted, I think you'll be left behind. We are living in that time and age where criminals themselves have reinvented the wheels of criminal enterprise. They are coming in different ways, where non-state actors with known addresses have always overwhelmed those with no known addresses, infiltrating our space, where a neighbor that you see, you may not know who that person is. The reality calls for new strategies by the police concerning the internal security to fight these enemies of peace and defeat them. The first step to achieving this usually starts from retreats, such as this one that you are having. You see, ideas generation will always come from retreats like this. Let me also say that we have a lot more to do. We are entering an era. You know, when I was looking at the program, I could see these days, police even have DIG on ICT. Because these people are advancing. They are developing much more strategies on how to perpetrate crime. So we must be there for them at the point of their own nefarious activities. Let me also say here, immediately after this, by the time we finish redefining what we stand for, I believe it's going to help us a whole lot as a people. And it's a very challenging time. We must not run out of that fact. It's a challenging time where even for somebody to move from one state to another, you have to think otherwise. So I don't envy the police within this period. But are these problems surmountable? The answer is yes. So let me also use this opportunity to thank all other sister security agencies for their robust cooperation with the Nigeria police, especially in my state, what we have received from them. We have enjoyed this in the past at least almost 7 years now, and it's actually been paying off. So I really want to appreciate those sister security agencies and also say that this collaboration will help us a long way. Our nation is going through security challenges, and we must admit. And if we all join together with the Nigerian police and check what I call Nigeria's security architecture to help keep us safe, I think our primary responsibility would have been really, really fully discharged. Let me also say here that I've always been an advocate for a robust redeployment of intelligence apparatus, both human and electronic. And I'm glad that this approach appears to have taken ascendance among other items in crime-fighting toolbox of the security agencies. Without intelligence, we might not be able to do a whole lot. So we should also look, as a people, as we made in this conference, at other root causes, why people embrace criminal activities, especially amongst the youths. People, all of us, we have a role to play here. Every single person. It's not something just about only the federal. It's both the federal and all subnationals, and even individuals. You know, I try to explain to people, in those days when police are coming up on a jingle in the radio, say police is your friend. That friendship is that they need information. This retreat, this conference, cannot be more timely than this time now. Because once we plan ahead, once we set it right, once we get it right, when we put structures in place, I believe we should be able to, as a matter of urgency, checkmate what we have in the nearest future. I want to believe that through this conference also, we'll come up with a proper structure that can actually allow things to work. You see, there are a lot of cases I believe the police force will also look at. It's not just the systems, it's not just the strategy, it's not just but the structure, and then the style, the shape values that will also help us drive certain goals that is going to be envisioned, and redefining those standards that is going to be done by the police in this case. I'm, however, sure that with the area of resource persons you have selected, you will come up with solid recommendations that would, in the end, help us live a more peaceful and secure lives. Once again, let me thank you all and welcome you to this beautiful state. You don't need to rush to go, all the police command from different states. I think if you go to other Oyibo countries, you do a state tour. We can also arrange a state tour, IGP, so that they can also have a look at what we also have, which can also have, in terms of tourism, what we say and what we do and what we are working on and where we are going to. I think that will also help us. So welcome again to Akwa Ibom State. I wish you a happy retreat. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the Nigeria Police Force. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much.
This august body, and I have the singular honor and privilege of inviting you to the podium, Dr. Mohammed Megaridi Gyadi Atuka Sokoto.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Odom Emmanuel, Your Excellency, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, and the indefectible Chairman of Governors Forum, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Moses Epo, Distinguished Senator Haluri Jika, Chairman Senate Committee on Police Affairs, my brother Honorable Bello Usman Kumu, Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, other distinguished members of the National Assembly here present, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Al-Ghali Baba, the National Security Advisor, ably represented by Sanusi Galadima, the the management team of the Inspector General of Police a new impetus to policing and gave legal backing to the adoption of community policing as the internal security strategy for the country, while also making provisions to strengthen the administrative operational frameworks of the force. Furthermore, the federal government also approved the recruitment of 40,000 police personnel over a period of 4 years as a pathway towards addressing huge manpower gap in policing of the nation, which also to undertake a detailed